Lee, congratulations on Sonic 3.
Thank you so much.
This is a fun junket for me in the sense that I've done the junket for every single one of these films now.
Oh,
so
have
I
you?
did the one just before the pandemic, and then I did the virtual one in 2022, and now here we are closing the trilogy. This must be a blast to do these movies. It must be so much fun to keep coming back and get all these cool things to do.
It's such a best case scenario with these movies with regards to, I mean, everybody cares so much, right? That's involved. A lot of us grew up with Sonic, whether it was video games, the Saturday morning cartoons, grew up on Jim Carrey. And as an actor to, be invited to work on a huge studio picture with the first one, like huge dream come true. And everyone ending up being like super friendly, and which isn't always the case, So I think we really lucked out as a team with these movies.
Yeah, I remember doing the junket for the first one, and not that there was trepidation, but it was a new thing. Like video game movies don't necessarily translate, and obviously the thing with the redesign of Sonic and all that kind of stuff. And then yet when it came out, it seemed to be perfectly timed and seemed to be a thing that people wanted, and also came out just for the pandemic. And then by the time it got to streaming and stuff, it was a film that people could sit and
I think it was what people needed, right? At the time, it's such a, especially with the first one, it's about, kind of a story of a fish out of water, right? Being lost, not having any family, searching for where they belong, which I think so many of us can relate to at some point in our life. And then, we had that pandemic, people got to watch the movie, and then to come out of the pandemic with Sonic 2 was really, you can't plan something like that, and to come out of the pandemic and watch something that's fresh and have a lot of heart and be funny and follow Sonic as now I have a family, but now I'm introduced to these new friends, and what does that look like? And teaching him to, with Knuckles, it was like, hey, I know you're angry, but maybe it's misplaced. And now with 3, Sonic has even more responsibility as far as being kind of a leader of this friend group. And even James's character telling him, like giving him a lot more responsibility. So they're really, really cool movies. And I think there's, I don't know what's the word, I think they really pull on the heartstrings in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Has it become easier for you now, obviously now 3 movies in, with the physicality of it in terms of like the CGI and knowing where to be and stuff? Because I can imagine the first movies, you're kind of like, okay, this is kind of an interesting thing. And obviously the technology has now advanced 4 or 5 years later, so it's become a little bit easier, I guess, for you guys to do that stuff.
I mean, for me, it was, I didn't engage with any of the animated characters in the first film. So a lot of the CGI was more where's like figuring out Jim and I's eye line dealing with the monitors. That was more my thing. It's like, okay, when to look at what point on a screen, which is again technically challenging. So you got to figure out, okay, be in the moment, but also at this time move from that corner to that corner of the screen. Pretend you're seeing a foot or the footprint. And then the second one was kind of more engagement. I got to engage with Knuckles, and then with this one, I get to engage with the whole team. I think a lot of it is use your imagination, obviously like when we were kids, but there is always the challenge of spatial awareness. So we do have the life-sized maquettes, I think they were called. And so that was to give us spatial awareness of like, okay, don't walk through this line on the next take once we take them out. We also used puppets on this one as well.
I've heard,
yeah. So that really helped as well. So then you could kind of see where they were going at what time, and to physically engage with something was easier too. So
yeah, there's so much in this film, but obviously as one of my heroes since I've been like 10 years old, obviously the Jim Carrey of it all, and you get to be kind of front and center. What was that first day like back on Sonic 1 with you and him? Did you overcome the kind of, oh my God, it's Jim Carrey quite quickly, or did it take a little while to kind of settle into?
I mean, I think like being on set, there's definitely an element of like, okay, you don't have the time to kind of freeze and be like, oh my gosh. Fortunately for me, it was like a lot of my preparation was just like, I didn't have many lines, right? So it was just like, you know what? Be as calm, cool, collected on set, and be just great to work with if you can. And I remember during rehearsal, our first days on set were together, so I think that helped. So proper introductions. and we were doing the Major Bennington scene. And I remember watching Jim rehearse, and we didn't quite have an idea of what Robotnik we were gonna get. And to see the life, and for me growing up on Ace and Dumb and Dumber and all that stuff, to see those moments where he was like, you know, it doesn't matter what your name is. I had a moment where all at the same time I was like, I'm on a huge studio movie. I'm working on a movie about a video game that I loved as a kid. I'm standing in front of Jim Carrey, who's Ace Ventura and everything. So there was a moment, and I remember I flubbed a line that was very simple, and I just kind of blubbered through it. It was like, nah, and got super panicky. Nobody cared. And then we were good. We were good after that. But yeah, so it was like a mini moment of like an outer body experience of like, oh, this is a lot. Like,
I have to say that little moment there was very Jim. The little thing that was very Jim Carrey. I have to say, it was very, very good. In terms of obviously this one, obviously it's not to spoil it for anything for anybody, but it goes to certain places, everything else. Can you see Stone's future? Are they kind of discussed it with you? Because I feel like even if he's not in the movies, there should be a scene where he has his own like coffee shop or something somewhere down the line. A full film. Because obviously you never know with these. They might just kind of veer off into something different. They know I'm down to come back if they'll have me back. I think it all comes down to story and does it make sense. I could see a future for him for sure. Fingers crossed. I don't get to choose, but you know, I'm available. As a final question, you've done this, 3 movies now. Do you have a favorite day on set? Do you have a favorite moment that you've captured, or something where you just thought, yeah, that was probably the best? I find those questions are so hard to answer because, for instance, that day on set, right? That's a huge milestone moment for me. And there was the moment where we came up with the idea on the first movie where he grabs me by the inside of my mouth. There was a moment where he does the, chop to the throat, and we were rehearsing that, and he was like, oh, try a face, try a reaction, try this, and there was this like, oh, the genius, the master here is asking me to do this stuff, and being like, yeah, okay, log that one, and then being invited to Sonic 2, another milestone. It's just like there's too many things to pick just one. I mean, shaving his head. I was going to say, not many people can say they've shaved Jim Carrey's head, right? No one's ever done that before. And for him to come up with the idea and fight, he was like, no, I think like Lee needs to do it, because there was a discussion of like, oh, do we have an actual barber do it, or do we have Lee do it? And Jim was like, it should be Lee. Like, we need to see Ivo and Stone in the same frame doing it. And it also gives Stone kind of a little bit of a payback moment and control for once. That's on your headstone when you pass. Jim Carrey's head. I cut Jim Carrey's head. And also add, like, people joke, you can add that to the resume. Add that on your headshot. As I say, Lee, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys.